At some point in the past 15 years or so, something changed. Nowadays everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be seen, be watched, and have an audience. The Truman Show predicted this back in 1998, but not in the way that you're thinking. The Truman Show is a film that revolves around, well, Truman, a man who is unknowingly being held captive in a reality television show. It's a unique premise that offers a lot to read into, and Truman has been in this fake world since his birth. He's been surrounded by actors and showrunners that are essentially making his choices for him. And The Truman Show is often described like this, as a film about a man trapped inside a fake world. But that's not quite right. See, Truman is the only real person inside this world. Everyone else around him is acting, his friends, his neighbours, even his wife. It's all part of the show. They're all performing versions of themselves for an audience that Truman doesn't even know exists. Truman, on the other hand, isn't performing at all. He's just living his life. He simply doesn't know any different. He doesn't know anything is wrong. His conversations are awkward, he messes up, he repeats himself, he has goals, he has ambition, and that's what makes him human. It's what makes him different to everybody else. The irony of The Truman Show is that the man whose life is being broadcast to millions is the only one not playing a role. Everyone else understands the rules. Truman doesn't. From the outside, his world looks perfect. The streets are clean, the neighbours are friendly. The sun always seems to shine, but perfection requires maintenance. And in Truman's world, that maintenance is performance. Every smile is timed, every conversation guided. Every relationship exists for a reason that has nothing to do with him. Truman's life isn't fake because it's artificial. It's fake because nothing in it is freely given. Every love is scripted. Every concern is rehearsed. The tragedy isn't that Truman is being watched. It's that everybody else knows that they're being watched. But none of this matters. I mean, none of this would exist without the people watching the show. Throughout the course of the film, we're constantly reminded of them. The fans, the merch, the love for the show. They watch it in bars, living rooms, everywhere. They don't think that they're the villains, and neither do we when we watch the film. The antagonist seems to be Christoph. I mean, he built the place, he created the show. But maybe, just maybe, the real villains, the real problem, are the fans, the viewers. They laugh with Truman and they laugh at him. They worry about him. They celebrate his victories and they mourn his losses. The audience isn't cruel. They're just comfortable with the idea that this is a real person's life. They accept the rules of the show because the show feels harmless. Truman looks happy. The world looks safe. And whenever something feels wrong, it's easy to just look away. The people watching Truman don't feel responsible for his captivity. They didn't build the dome. They didn't write the scripts. I mean, they're just watching. But again, the show doesn't exist without them. Every camera stays on because someone is still paying attention. Every moment is justified because somebody wants to see what happens next. In The Truman Show, exploitation doesn't require malice. It only requires attention. You don't have to want to cause the pain or the suffering. The audience never forces Truman to stay. They just make it impossible for the show to end. And even when Truman begins to notice the cracks, the lights falling from the sky, the repetition, the unease, the cameras keep rolling. The audience watches him struggle with the feeling that something is wrong, and they stay anyway, not because they hate him, but because they're used to him. Truman's life becomes background noise, something familiar, something comforting, and they just keep watching. For a long time, The Truman Show felt exaggerated. A world where someone's entire life could be broadcast felt extreme, even absurd. When the film released in 1998, being visible was rare, exposure was limited and privacy was just assumed. Most people lived unrecorded lives. You would make home videos and share family moments, but you wouldn't share your daily life. There was a natural level of distance between everyone. If you were watched, it usually meant you were famous or important, or deliberately seeking attention. Things like the news or MTV, that's the most that we saw. But something changed. The barriers between audience and subject have disappeared. Cameras have become regularly available. Distributions become instant with social media. Attention has become something that you can fairly easily pursue. The unsettling part of The Truman Show isn't that it predicted a world of cameras, it's that it predicted a world where people would want them. Today, being seen isn't strange. It isn't unnerving. It's no longer a consequence, it's a goal. People don't just consume media anymore. They produce it, shape it, and insert themselves into it. Experiences feel incomplete without documentation. Moments feel smaller if they disappear unnoticed. If no one saw it, did it really happen? This isn't vanity in the simple sense. It's a shift in how meaning is measured. Attention becomes feedback, likes become reassurance, visibility becomes a form of proof. In Truman's world, being watched was a condition of his existence. In ours, it's increasingly the condition for feeling real, not because we're forced to perform, but because performance is rewarded. The more visible you are, the more validated you feel. And this isn't inherently sinister. Being seen can be affirming, sharing can be creative, visibility can connect people who would otherwise remain isolated. And also, not everybody wants an audience, and not everybody who posts or creates is performing. But the shift is still there. A world that once revolved around watching others now quietly encourages us to watch ourselves. The Truman Show imagined a future where media consumed life from the outside. What it didn't fully anticipate was how willingly we would step into the frame. Truman wanted a world without cameras. We built one where they're everywhere. And maybe, in that sense, we are the Truman Show.